So when we interview Brain Mile, I'm going to mute.
Ourselves. Sorry. I think the rules are Jim doesn't touch the buttons.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Da la la la. Okay. So, okay, Jim Book. We've got, say something, Jim.
This is
testing. I can just turn this back on and off.
With this on here, it's really...
Two of the top 10 ranked teams according to U.S. Lacrosse Magazine. The 5th-ranked Brunswick Bruins square off against the 6th-ranked Darien Blue Wave. After recently dropping their first loss of the season, the Bruins look to hand Darien their first loss. It's Saturday, May 1st here in Darien, Connecticut on the DAF Media Network. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon. My name is Ted Brennan. Calling me with this game is Jim Book. Jim, we should have a great matchup in store.
Oh, this will be an excellent game. It always is. These teams see each other a fair amount in the offseason, and they see each other's preseason, but they haven't had too many regular season games. They played in 2019. The season was canceled last year, 2020, and so they finally get a look at each other this year in 2021.
We'll now bring up some players to watch in this game. We're trying to get this up. Players of the game, or players to watch. First up is Tomas Delgado for the Brunswick Bruins. He had a 5-point outing in their last game against Lawrenceville. He is a very good player for this Bruins squad, Jim.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. His older brother is, I believe, a captain on the team this year. Tomas is an excellent player, and certainly will get a lot of attention from Darien today.
Number 11, the middle fielder for this Bruins team. And now we'll try to shift it to Darien's player to watch in Matthew Minikis, one of the many Minikis players to come through this Darien program. And Matthew is just the latest installment.
It's just incredible to see. I think there's a lot of towns that are going to be happy to see when the Minikises finally get out of here. He's got another year, though. He's only a junior, committed to Loyola University, but Loyola College. He's a tremendous player, no doubt.
Matthew Minikis, in their last game, Minikis had 2 goals, one of the leading scorers on this Darien team. And now we're going to throw it down to our sideline announcer, Braden Shank. He's on the field right now with Brunswick coach Bruce, Coach David Bruce. And we'll try to throw it down to him in just a moment. We're going to have actually Coach Jeff Braymeyer for Darien first. Still trying to figure out who's going to speak first. It's going to be Coach Jeff Braymeyer.
Braymeyer, Coach, you guys are the #1 public school right now in Lacrosse. You're playing the #1 private school. What do you think it's going to take down the Bruins today?
We have to play smart. We have to play aggressive. We have to be able to come up with the key possessions and key scores at a great time.
Thank you so much. Good luck today, Coach.
Now we're going to have Coach David Bruce for the Bruins. We're going to throw it right back down to Braden Shank. Braden.
Coach, you guys are one of the #1 private schools right now in the state. You're playing Darien, a good public school. What is it going to take down the Blue Wave today?
All we can take. I mean, all we have. I mean, they're the measuring stick in this state. They always have been, and we're lucky to be on the field with them.
Thank you so much. Good luck today, Coach. Back to you, Ted.
We're going to take the anthem now, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Darien High School for today's boys lacrosse game as the Brunswick School visits your Darien Blue Wave. Quickly for your starting lineups, starting with the Brunswick School. Number 1, Luke Schlenk. Number 2, Coulter McKeezy.
Back here on the DAF Media Network, we're now going to bring up our keys to the game in just a moment. If we can bring up our keys to the game. There we go. Keys of the game for the Brunswick Bruins. They got to protect the crease on defense. Wing play on the faceoff has to be good, and they have to create some transition opportunities on offense. As for Darien, they got to keep their foot on the gas pedal in the last game against Staples. It was their closest win of the season, a 3-goal win. They have to dictate the tempo of the game, win, and they have to tighten up on defense. Those are the keys to the game presented by DAF Media. And we're going to take you live now. And Jim, this is a matchup we've been waiting for all week long between two of the top-ranked teams in the state.
Yeah, and I would say the key to a game always is a face-off, so we'll get that right off the start here. Ty Comiskey's really been doing a great job as a junior.
And Brunswick will pick that one up. That's number 10, Blake Burchell.
So the teams will adjust here a little bit, but like I said, these teams are pretty familiar with each other, so I don't think you'll see a lot of screwed up matchups right now. They're going to find the guys that they're supposed to be covering. The teams know each other real well.
Darien is playing in their home whites with the blue trim. Bruins, there's a shot saved by Demopoulos.
And Demopoulos with a big save. That's a real momentum push just right off the gate to get a big save like that. That was a quality shot, low and away.
Bruins are playing in the black and yellow trimmed uniforms. Here's Darien. Inside, an early goal.
There we go.
That's number 99, Brady Picorni, starting the scoring off early.
Tell you what, that was a great play. It was a nice outlet pass by David Ivanchik up to Sam Erickson. Sam Erickson's got that kind of speed. He could break down the fast break. They slid to him. He found Picorni slashing in front of the goal, and a nice finish by him.
Taking another look here, we see the Picorni goal once again. His 17th goal of the year, and he's only a freshman.
Another last name that a lot of towns are going to be happy to get rid of, the Picorni family. They got 3 more years of that.
Already 3 on this team here, including Steven and Finn, along with Brady Picorni.
Great, that'll be the goalie ball right there. Andy Demopoulos quick out of the crease, closest to the end line when the ball goes out, where the ball goes out.
Andy Demopoulos, one of the top goaltenders in the state. He'll have his work cut out for him here against this Bruins offense. Minikis handling it now, one of the players to watch. The shot, that's saved. Good save there by the goaltender, Luke Schlenk.
Quick little breakdown there by Brunswick. You don't want to leave Minikis alone for too long, that's for sure.
Minikis capable from scoring anywhere on the field. Here's Jameson Moore, senior captain. Shot by Darien, and it's in! That's number 12, the senior captain, Jameson Moore.
Assisted by Finn Picorni. You know, Darien's running off their wings right now. It's an open set. It's their spread set, but they run a wing offense, and it really allows for some interesting pick action that comes down below. Jameson Moore gets a chance to set his feet. He's going to stick that 9 out of 10 times.
That's his 9th goal on the year. Went low on Schlenk, and Schlenk, his reaction time wasn't quick enough there. So Darien takes an early 2-0 lead here, and that's exactly how Darien wanted to start this game. Put pressure on the Bruins team. Minikis having trouble scooping it up. You can hear the wind in our mics as Minikis turns that one over. Here's the Bruins offense now.
So Darien's running 2 different poles at long stick right now. Jeremiah Stafford, number 55, is on the field. He's an Air Force commit. He's a junior. But you'll see they're running actually 5 different poles in and out of different positions, but you'll see a lot of different bodies there.
Shot there from number 5, Leo Hoffman. No good. Went just wide, but Bruins will retain possession. Shot there. Demopoulos. Big time save there. And it's blocked.
Okay, that's going to be called interference. Demopoulos still in the throwing motion, makes contact with the attackman's stick. That's going to be a free clear for Darien. Got to allow the goalie to get the ball out of his stick. The goalie can't, once the ball's gone, goalie can't just continue following through and touch the guy on the head anymore. But in the throwing motion itself, they'll give it a free clear to Darien.
And if you're the Bruins, you can't have any type of those mistakes because Darien will make you pay for it. One of the few teams in the state that capitalizes on almost every mistake that another team makes. And a mistake there from Darien, but it will be almost scooped up by Matthew Stein. Jim, one of the great things about today specifically is that any fans can attend. Last week against New Canaan, it was just seniors who could attend home games, but now it's every fan, and it sure provides a boost for this Darien home team.
I'll tell you, I'm glad these kids are getting a chance to get back to normal a little bit. It's really just been too bad. It's been a very difficult season, for all teams. Darien can't play any out-of-state games this year, so some of their big rivalries have had to be put on hold for a season. They want to be able to play in front of their friends, play in front of their families. So it's good to see the crowd streaming in here a little bit, and it's an absolutely beautiful day here.
It'll be Thomas Delgado had it and gives it up. Delgado, one of the players to watch at this game. Brunswick behind the net now. Some chaos near the 20-yard line. It will find a Darien stick.
Well, face-offs and ground balls are always huge in these games. Loose one in front there. Darien's able to come up with it. Finn Picorni.
Picorni with the shot, and it's in! Finn Picorni.
Man, oh man, he's a big, strong, left-handed shooter. That's Finn Picorni. That's exactly what he wants to be able to do. Get to his left hand and let that thing go. He's going to University of Richmond next year. 2 years from now. He's a junior this year, but he's a big, strong, left-handed shooter.
Finn Picorni makes it 3-0, as Brunswick will take a timeout, as will we. We'll be back with more first quarter action in just a moment. Back here on the DAF Media Network. Next Saturday, boys lacrosse. Willen comes to face Darien here on the DAF Media Network at 3 p.m. That should be a great game between two FCIAC rivals. Willen actually played this Bruins team, and the Bruins stayed undefeated up until, or with that win, but of course they're now 7-1 as they lost their last game to Lawrenceville. That was a very close game, 7-6 win for Lawrenceville. As Darien will get the ball. And Jim, something we were talking about during the timeout is that Darien is without senior captain Holt Mathias for another game, but it seems like they don't really need him at this point.
Well, I'll tell you, it always matters not having a captain on the field. I'm sure, oh, there we go.
Jamison Moore with another goal. His 10th of the season, 2nd of the game.
That's just fantastic. What I was actually going to say is, you don't have a captain on the field, but what can happen is you can wind up having other players who understand and they feel they need to pick up the slack. So Jameson's certainly having a good start today and trying to basically cover up and pull for the captain who's on the sidelines. I think he's down with a hamstring. They were hoping to get him back for today, but they weren't able to get him there.
Senior captain Jameson Moore makes this 4-0.
So the momentum with the face-offs here, you know, Brunswick won the first two. Since then, I think Darien has won each one of them, whether for possession or that was just a illegal motion before the whistle. You know, it can become a make-it-take-it thing. If you can control the face-off, it really helps you keep control of the pace of the game.
T. Kaminsky has been great all year on face-offs. He's got to be close to 50% wins for the season. Danny Lau with it now. Gives that one up to Caesar.
All right, that's a warding call. They said he got his free hand and brushed his stick away. It's always tough when you're in congestion like that, but ref calls it, then it's a call. So this is Mac McGarren now running at long stick midi. Mac, I believe, is a sophomore this year. And pretty remarkable. You think about a sophomore, they didn't get a season last year, so any sophomores getting out on the field, basically a freshman. So Coach Bramer's been very impressed with him. Good player, good, strong, physical kid. He'll be a good addition to the Blue Wave for the next 2 years. That's
something I talked to Captain Jameson Moore a bit last week. How this team is so deep as Brunswick is moving the ball around. He said that they have a very balanced mix of seniors, juniors, and underclassmen, as Demopoulos with another stop. It makes the game a whole lot easier when you have a team full of kids who can play at a high level, and as a senior, it is reassuring to know that everyone is giving their best effort to make this season something special.
Yeah, both these teams, you know, loaded with talent, year in and year out. You know, you see a lot of other teams that get there every once in a while, but these two teams are always good. They're always good. They've always got depth. They've always got additional players. As Coach Brameyer likes to say, you know, we don't rebuild, we reload.
Something that's been very prevalent through his time as the lacrosse coach. Darien always a threat to win not only FCX but also states, as right now they are the CIAC Connecticut Class L state defending champions, as they won in 2019 and of course no 2020 season.
So a different offensive set for Darien right here. Before they were going off the wings, that was a set where they'll put one or two behind and actually 4 up top. Allows some room for a couple of their Dodgers to operate from behind the goal.
Good save there from Schlenk, keeping the score where it is.
Corny may have gotten away with one there. Little push, but the ref didn't see it.
Here's Minikis.
Oh. Well, you do like in these games when the refs don't take too active of a role and turn it into a consistent man up and man down, but there's been a couple of things here that they've let go, and hopefully they let them keep playing.
More to Minikis. McCorney looking for his second goal.
Jameson Moore wearing the number 12 jersey this year, which is an honor that coach gives to a player each year, a player who exemplifies hard work, dedication, and selfless time and commitment to this team.
That's interesting. I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, the number 12 jersey's he's had that going for a few years now. And it's actually, I kind of chuckled to myself. Glenn Moore, Jameson's father, was one of Coach Brayemeyer's first big-time recruits. Went on to play at Georgetown, was a captain at Georgetown. So it's been fun to watch Jameson come along here. So he was honored to wear the jersey this year.
Jameson Moore playing at Princeton in 2 years. He'll be taking a gap year at Taft next season.
I think Jameson and
Sam Erickson
will both be at Taft, right. Sam will be on his way to West Point, University United States Military Academy, but we'll be doing a gap year in between at Taft. So that'll be fun to watch those guys play.
That's something Darien and Brunswick are never short on, high talent recruits. Be interesting to see them play over the next few years. Here's Brunswick with it now.
Joey Caesar with some nice short stick defense there. Great job, Joey.
Missed shot there from the attackman, Chris Gain.
You know, they'll get an attackman on a short stick like that, and they probably decide that's a good matchup. But, you know, each of the short sticks that they have out there, Joe and also Christian Allegro right now, played real high-quality one-on-one defense.
Shot there is good. The goal there from number 2, the captain, Coulter Maxey.
Yeah, you know, look, that was a good offensive series for Brunswick. They got a couple of different looks, and at some point in time, somebody's going to get free. Coulter comes around the cage there and really is able to get his hands free, and not a lot of chance for Demopoulos. Well-placed shot, top left corner.
So Coulter Maxey makes this a 4-1 game. Brunswick on the board here. It's his 26th goal of the season.
That's a great play by Sam Erickson right there. Oh, they're going to call him off, so that's too bad. He got a little shove in the back, but I thought he was going to get away with it. Remember, you can't come out of the restraining box, which is a line that goes across the 30-yard line here. You can't come out of the box until there's either possession of the ball, or if you can yourself pick it up, then you can run out of the box. So that was a real touch-and-go moment right there.
You know, Jim, I'm glad I have you with me here as you're explaining all of the rules and also helping me understand the game a little bit more.
It's difficult. They've made so many changes to the rules. Each year it seems like they're adjusting something. So I wind up having to check myself now and then and try to remember it, because the college rules are slightly different than the high school rules.
Good pump fake from number 11, Thomas Delgado.
Tomas, you know, I'll tell you what, for a sophomore, he doesn't have a frame of a sophomore. Doesn't play like a sophomore. He's quite a player right there.
You take a look at that one. Pumps to his right, switches to his left hand, and puts that one in for the Bruins' second goal of the first. The score is 4-2 in favor of the Wave. A shot and another goal for the Bruins, seconds apart.
That's those face-offs. I mean, you know, it can be a momentum killer and it can be a momentum builder. So they picked that one up clean, come down. Wasn't quite sure who got the shot off.
That's number 5, Leo Hoffman.
Yeah, Leo was able to get his feet set and really just put some pace on it and buried it.
The sophomore, his 8th goal of the year. And the Bruins have made this a 1-goal game. It looked like when Darien had a 4-0 lead, they were going to run away with it. But the score is 4-3. Here's Kaminsky trying to take it himself. Good save there from Schlank. Kaminsky's done that a couple times this year where he takes it himself. That time unable to get it past Schlank. But Corney tried to do the fancy move. Darien will retain possession.
Darien's going to probably try to settle down here a little bit. They've been playing a little bit of defense. I don't think anybody really expected either team to run away with this from the start, but Darien was certainly off to a quick lead, and Brunswick came storming back to remind them that this is going to be a fight for 4 quarters.
Something Coach David Bruce told me before the game is that friendships are put on hold. It's going to be a 48-minute dogfight here against 2 teams that know each other pretty well.
Yeah, these guys, they really do. I mean, we're in a little pocket here of lacrosse where everybody they really know each other, whether it's just because they're playing against each other or playing with each other in the summertime, club lacrosse. But there's a lot of familiarity here between the 2 of these guys.
Here's Delgado with it, gives it up. That one blocked in traffic.
Brunswick looks like they're trying to get the pace up.
Stafford tried the long ball. That's no good.
As we're running out of time on the quarter here, I think he was just trying to get it down there and get it in play. I think we have 2 seconds left. I can't quite see what's on the clock.
And that'll take us to the end of the first. Darien, a 1-goal lead here early on the DAF Media Network. The score is 4-3. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
Back here on the DAF Media Network with second quarter action. The Bruins have scored 3 unanswered, trying to match Darien's 4 unanswered that they started out with at the beginning of the game. Brady Picorni got the scoring started for Darien. Then it was Jameson Moore, Finn Picorni, and then back to Moore. And then it was all Bruins towards the end of the first quarter. Maxi, Delgado, and Hoffman making this the 4-3 game you see here now. The shot.
Another nice stop by Andy Demopoulos here. Tell you, a couple big stops by him early on has been huge. I mean, these are not easy saves whatsoever, and Stein trying to press a little bit.
Demopoulos really gives his team a lot of momentum after big saves. It seems like after every big save that Demopoulos has had today, Darien has gone on and scored. It'll be Finn Picorni with it now as Darien tries to set up an offense.
So this is Darien's what they would call their first line. They really do run lines evenly, but you've got Finn Picorni, Jameson Moore, Connor O'Malley. Connor's actually headed to Washington and Lee to play both football and lacrosse. Number 6.
Shows his versatility not only on the lacrosse field but also on the football field.
Yeah, just a fantastic athlete, real hard-working kid.
He's used mainly as a cornerback this year, or for the season that they had. Of course, the 7-on-7 league this season.
Matthew Stein behind the goal right now. Senior headed to Colby.
Moore.
Jameson Moore.
In the few games that I've called this year, something that I've seen a lot from Moore is that he'll fake left and try to go to the middle as a big save there by Schlenk. And the Bruins are off and running.
Schlenk's a great goalie. He's a a junior, committed to Georgetown. Oh, just found one in the stick there. Here we go. Here's Jeremiah Stafford on the break. He's got some serious speed.
It will be Darien ball.
They must be calling. They gave that to Darien. They must have thought that he tipped it. Normally, if it was a shot, the Darien player was closer. The refs will confer here real quick.
So we take a look.
Okay, they're going to say it was not a shot, so it's going to be Brunswick ball coming off the end line.
Brunswick will take possession here. As you mentioned, Schlenk is going to Georgetown. He'll join Captain Holt Mathias after his senior season, as Mathias is heading to Georgetown next year, one of the most talented prospects in the country.
Yeah, Holt was, it's really too bad. Holt was really setting up for a great senior year this year after having junior year eliminated again. You know, just sort of one of the things that breaks your heart for all these guys that put so much into this sport. To have a full year taken away from them was really difficult last year.
About 3 minutes have gone by here in this second quarter. The score stays where it is. And a big save there by Demopoulos. He'll get that one to Bolton.
Joe Caesar clears the ball. Christian Allegro is going to take his man behind. Christian's just a big, strong physical presence. So, especially on a short stick back here, he's a pretty powerful dodger.
Allegro had 1 goal last game as Brunswick is getting physical with it. And Picorni tried to spike that one. And Brunswick will be rewarded with the ball after the effort from the defenseman. That was a very good defensive possession for the Bruins.
Yeah, you'll notice, Brunswick's been getting some longer possessions offensively. Darien would like to possess the ball a little bit longer. Darien just stepped offside there. So there's a flag down right now. Darien gets possession of the ball here.
Here's another flag. I'm sure for that collision around the net.
I didn't see the second one. The first one was just a toe over the line. When Brunswick has the ball, if Darien steps offsides, it becomes a 30-second technical foul. Let's see what the ref says here.
Bruins will have a man-up situation here.
Yeah, so there's going to be 2 fouls. It was the offsides, which is a 30-second technical, and then a cross-check on number 55, Jeremiah Stafford. That must have happened right down on the crease in that scrum. I didn't see it myself, but Darien is down 2 men right now for 30 seconds, and there will be 1 man down for a minute.
Brunswick will try to capitalize on the man-up situation.
This is not a team that you want to be 2 men down against. They've got 6 shooters, and it's really just hard to cover all the spots on the field with only 4 defenders on the field. Oh, Sam Erickson with a nice play here.
Here comes Erickson now with it.
That's just a big-time play.
Erickson, good save by Schlenk. Erickson and Moore played a little back and give and go, back and forth.
Sam Erickson, senior captain, making senior captain plays. I'll tell you, I did look at Jeff Bremeyer put both hands up on his head at the end there. I think he would have liked Sam to have run away, gotten out of traffic, and just focused on killing off the penalty here. But he had a pretty good look at it right there, right in front of the goal.
That one zips by Demopoulos. Demopoulos had a good save on that last shot attempt. Went straight up into the air after it hit his stick. And it saved Darien.
First penalty's released, so Darien is just down 1. Probably for about 15 more seconds tops. Well, that's a big, long outside shot, and it's a great shot, but I'll tell you, they've got to want to try to get a better look. When you're man up, you don't want to be trying to shoot from 20 yards out against Andy Demopoulos. You'd like to be getting a better look than that.
A great save there by Demopoulos going down to a knee. That's something that Coach David Bruce said to his team is that they got, or said to me at least, they got to be sharing the ball on offense more. They can't be looking to get shots against a goalie like Demopoulos shooting from the 30 to the 40. They got to get it closer and move the ball on offense.
Yep, absolutely. And they're good. They can get those looks, but it's tough. They're high school kids, and sometimes they think that they can hit shots that they're just not going to be able to hit on a goalie as good as Andy Demopoulos.
Brunswick will have possession again. The shot, that's just high. Brunswick will have possession again.
So, rule in this game is if the ball's shot and it's going out of bounds, okay, as long as it's still propelled by the shot, it's the team that's closest to the ball when it goes out, where it goes out. So you can get a number of different possessions. Now in the college game, they've added a shot clock because they basically wanted to make it so that a team couldn't just sit there and continue to be on offense. They wanted to find a way to reward good defense.
And a post shot there from Minikis. You can hear the crowd reaction. That one looked good coming off of the stick. but it just hit the post, and a timeout will be taken by the Bruins again.
Yeah, that was a quality look and a quality shot by Minikis. Sure, he'd like to get that one back, but that's real good placement. Right off the hip of the goalie. Hard for the goalie to get there.
We're going to take a quick timeout as well as we're seeing some replays. More second quarter action just around the corner. Back here on the DAF Media Network. On Monday, it will be New Canaan versus Darien. Darien will look to avenge their first loss of the season against the New Canaan Rams. That game was at Dunning Field. I believe I will be covering that game on Monday, if I remember my schedule correctly. But that game will be Monday at 4 p.m. here on the DAF Media Network at Darien. Back here with more second quarter action.
Interesting, we had a 4-3 first quarter, and so far this quarter we are scoreless. Teams sort of settling in a little bit, getting used to each other.
That's something you don't see from both teams. They both have explosive offenses. Darien, they're outscoring opponents 82-26 in their first 5 games. But right now it's only a 1-goal game with no goals in the second quarter. We'll look to see if that changes here late in this second quarter.
Wow, that's a great save.
Schlank with another save on Minikis.
That's a great save by Schlank right there. Minikis was sneaking around the corner, got a good look, tried to put it down low, and Schlank got there.
Here's Minikis with it now. Jim, as you mentioned, no shot clock in the high school game.
Brunswick looks like they've just dropped into a zone here. Okay, different look on defense where they're not covering a man, they're covering. Looks like goalie's mouthpiece fell out. Ref blew a whistle, let him adjust his equipment.
Gotta protect those teeth.
So I'm not sure that Darien has faced the zone this year, so we'll see. It's certainly something that they practice, but the way the season's gone, with the way the preseason went, you know, it's a little harder for them to.
What a goal! Brady Picorni.
Wow.
Just a little flip over the shoulder. Makes this a 5-3 game. That's his second of the day. So we'll take a look here. Minikis finds Picorni. A little dump shot over that shoulder behind the back.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a look by Minikis and a great handle by Picorni. And you know, frankly, I'm trying to see. Yeah, they got a stick on him. That's why I think it didn't. It had that little arc on it, but you know, it was a quality shot from that position. Increases his angle, gives him a better look at the goal.
As long as it got past the goaltender, I'm sure Darien will take it any way they can get it.
Yes, indeed.
As there has been a scoring drought in this second quarter. The complete opposite of the first quarter. The score is now 5-3 off of goals from Brady Picorni, Jameson Moore, and Finn Picorni. That's something that this Darien team is very good at. They're not just having one player score all the goals. They have a ton of weapons on offense who can score. Here's Brunswick. And Demopoulos got a piece of that one, kept it out of the net.
So it seems like Andy's seeing the ball real well today. At some point, you know, when a goalie gets hot, you'll start to see shooters actually starting to second guess their shots a little bit. I wonder if we just saw that right there.
Here's Maxey. He's got Erickson on him.
It's great defense by Erickson.
Captain Waters, excuse me. Inside. Thought about it, no. Here's the shot now. And Demopoulos saves Miles Spice's shot.
So one player we haven't seen much of, David Ivanchik, covering number 17, which is Miles Spice. David's going to Villanova next year, and he's a great one-on-one player, but they've just buried him inside today. So he's been covering up with some of these passing lanes inside.
Tried to behind-the-back shot there. That's no good. Ivanchik, of course, as you just mentioned, heading to Villanova in 2 years, and that's another name in this Darien lacrosse program that opponents would be happy to get rid of.
Yes, indeed.
As his brothers Drew and Mark are two very good players for this Darien team. Here's the shot. That's a good save there. Delgado tried to put that one through. Demopoulos shut the door, said no.
The more the shots come, the more confidence the goalie gets. But I'll tell you, Darien does not want to allow Brunswick to be on offense for this long. They've had the ball for a solid minute and a half, and you can play and you can stop as many as you want, but at some point, you got to get the ball out of your defensive end.
And Darien had an opportunity to pick up and run with it, but couldn't get it. Here's a pass. Tried to go through the legs of Demopoulos, and Demopoulos closed the door once again. But Brunswick will have that one right back as we take a look here. That would have been a beautiful goal if it had happened, but Demopoulos proven why he's one of the best in the state.
Closed the, you saw him going around the world there, closed the wickets, was able to get it off of his shin.
The shot, I believe that one hit a post.
So again, I'll remind you, this is the type of situation where in the college game, right, they've created a shot clock. Now each of those saves, actually, if the goalie makes contact with the ball, they would get a new shot clock, but this is a big, long offensive sequence for Brunswick here. It's hard to play defense that long.
Darien will take the timeout, but Jim, what have you seen on this Darien defense and this Bruins offense, because we've seen them for so long in this second quarter?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with the way Darien's playing. You know, Brunswick plays a really hard schedule. Every single game that they play is just against a super high caliber team. So they expect this. The hard part for the kids in Darien, a lot of public school programs, is, you know, Darien has to play 11 league games, and they can only play a maximum of 16. So, you know, when they go up and against an opponent like this, they don't get to see this all the time. So a lot of times they can get kind of overrun at the beginning. So I was impressed with how they came out, and I've been impressed with their ability. You knew Brunswick was going to bring it close again. I've been really impressed with their ability, you know, to get another one up on the board and keep this as a fight. Darien's confidence will grow as they go here, right? Because Brunswick is used to seeing this type of stuff. Darien, there had to be some butterflies coming into this game. There's no doubt. But all of a sudden now they're going to go into halftime. One way or another, it's going to be a rock fight, and they're going to come out for the second half and see if they got more rocks.
The Bruins play in the New England 1 Conference, also known as the New 1. It's the most challenging league in the region, and they have been the New 1 champions 3 times, while finishing in the top 4 every season dating back to 2009 after they joined the conference in 2006. So this Bruins team shows why they are also one of the best in the state. Demopoulos got, I believe, the bottom of his stick on that shot, and it found its way to Ivanchik.
Okay, so Darien's finally able to get it up out of their zone. I think they should try to possess it a little bit here, settle the ball down, let their defense catch their breath.
Looks like
that's what they'll do.
And Jim, as you mentioned during
we only have about 15 seconds to go, though, so
got to do it quick. But as you mentioned during that timeout, is Darien, they have to play who's in their conference, especially this year, considering that can't do too many big away games.
Right.
So they're not going to have, the teams from, say, like California when they had it a couple years ago. They're not going to face the top teams from New York.
Right. Yeah, they're not able to play any teams out of state this year. So it's actually one of the reasons they were able to get Brunswick back on the schedule. But every team they play has to be in-state this year due to COVID restrictions.
After 2 quarters, Darien leads it 5-3 here at halftime. We will be back with the second half just around the corner.
We are DAF Media, Darien's hometown source for sports, arts, and entertainment, established in 2017. We Are Community, a volunteer-based organization that gives nearly 50 Darien High School students hands-on experience in video production. We Are Cutting Edge, a STEM initiative. Students use cameras, computers, sound equipment, and innovative software. We Are Live, streaming 120 events per year on our YouTube channel. We Are On the Stage. We Are At the Big Games. We Are On the Field. We Are In the Gym. We Are On the Move, live streaming not only in Darien, but throughout southwestern Connecticut and the tri-state area. We are making a difference. We are DAF Media.
I'm proud of the work the Darien Foundation has done over the past 20 years. If you live here, our work has likely impacted you, your family, and your neighbors. Since our founding in 1998, we've provided more than $4.2 million in grants, which create opportunity for Darien's youth, support our town's safety and security services, and enhance the overall quality of life in Darien through collaboration with community organizations.
As a family that's relatively new to town and planning to make this our long-term home, I'm grateful to see my community and my family benefit from the Darien Foundation. When I learned that the edible gardens at the elementary schools, the generator at the Darien Library, and the playground by the Sound were all funded by the same organization, I raised my hand to get involved. I'm proud to support an organization whose impact I see every day in our schools and throughout our community.
So far this year, the Darien Foundation has awarded $138,000 in grants to enhance our community. In 2013, the Darien Community Association opened a 4-acre bird sanctuary thanks to a grant from the Darien Foundation. The serene wooded glade has attracted numerous birds, bees, and butterflies, as well as more than 200 school children and other visitors. This year, they added a new pondless waterfall, as well as more trees, plantings, signage, and benches. In 1976, the Darien Historical Society and Darien High School students built the Middlesex, an authentic replica of the 18th century whaleboats. These were used by local patriots in the Revolutionary War to fight the British Navy in Long Island Sound. The Darien Historical Society is restoring this artifact so that it can be part of Darien's upcoming 2020 bicentennial celebrations. The live turtle exhibit continues to be the most popular attraction for children at the Darien Nature Center, which welcomes over 16,000 visits annually. A new forest and pond ecosystem will allow visitors to engage with several species of turtle that will live together in a 50-square-foot habitat that resembles their natural home.
This has been such a special collaboration between the Darien Nature Center and the Darien Foundation, because not only have they provided generous funding to us, but we've been able to meet with members of the foundation and our staff and talk about what is going to make the very best exhibit for the town of Darien, and we've really added value to the process by doing that.
The vast majority of food distributed by Person to Person is donated from local suppliers and businesses. A group of dedicated volunteers drives the brand new cargo van on these daily rounds, which each year account for more than $100,000 in collected food. Person to Person also has an extensive youth program, offering many Darien High School and middle school students their first experiences at volunteering.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have a beautiful new van. We're very excited about it, not only because it's new and it's safe for those who are riding in it and driving and going to pick up all the food, but also it speaks to the support of the Darien Foundation, as well as speaks to what Person to Person does in the community.
For more than 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien, offering our town's youth, emergency services, and community organizations an avenue to pursue innovation and excellence. Collaboration with you, the members of our community, has been vital to our mission. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the Center Oval and Upper Oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the second school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
Back here with the second half of this game between the Bruins and the Blue Wave. For those of you just joining us, my name is Ted Brennan. Alongside me today is Jim Book. And we've seen a great matchup here up until this point.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think the story of the game, my opinion, has to be the way Andy Demopoulos is playing in goal for Darien. He's just been awesome. Faceoffs, Ty Comiskey's really been doing great. I'd say faceoffs are pretty close to a push right now, probably close to 50-50. I don't have the stats, but man, I've got to think that Demopoulos probably has at least 8 to 10 saves already just in the first half.
We're going to get a quick program overview of both teams. These teams are not very far apart. Of course, Darien and Greenwich. Darien playing in the FCIAC and the CIAC, and Brunswick playing in the new 1 conference. Darien, 17 FCIAC titles, 14 CIAC titles, and the Bruins have 3 new 1 conference titles. And honestly, I'm not sure which is more impressive, the 14 CIAC titles or the 3 new 1 titles, as the new 1 is the toughest conference, but 14 just shows utter dominance.
Absolutely, and look, the FCIAC is a great league, right? And there can be a team. Darien's sometimes been in this position where everybody thinks that they're great, and they'll drop a game. These teams know each other so well, and they compete so aggressively in every sport. So these are big-time rivalries, and the nerves get up, and you see all kinds of upsets all the time in FCIAC play. So I actually think that's a very impressive statistic for Darien. They've been able to win that many times.
More with it now. Good save there. Wow. Picorni will put that one in. His 3rd of the day.
I'll tell you what, Picorni, for a freshman, Brady Picorni just plays with the confidence of somebody a lot older than a freshman. I mean, he has really just stepped up great today. Real heads-up play here on the rebound. Comes around and sticks it in the lower corner.
Brady Picorni puts that one in, makes it 6-3. He was the only player to score in the second quarter for both sides, picking up right where he left off. He's got the hat trick, and it's 6-3.
Well, he's going to be quite an addition to Darien for the next few years, that's for sure. Little procedure foul here. Brunswick moved a little bit early. Darien's back out with that, what I guess they consider to be their first line, but like I said, I think these lines play pretty darn evenly. But this is Finn Picorni, Brady's brother right here.
Their older brother Hudson also played on this Darien lacrosse team just 2 years ago.
Yeah, quite a lineage. They'll be here for a long time, and I'll tell you, I got a sneak peek at their little sister Cameron, 7th grader, I believe. She's going to be quite a player for the Darien Blue Wave in high school when she gets there.
It will be Darien ball. Now, Jim, you know both lacrosse programs, both the Darien girls and boys lacrosse programs very well, as you've had 2 kids who have gone through each of the programs. Your son Jack going through the boys program and your daughter Logan going through the girls program. And what's that like, having them play for such prestigious programs such as Darien?
Oh, it's just great. They had such a good time. They each played in college, and I think you'll hear this from a lot of people who play here. Nothing's quite as good as playing in high school. So they really did enjoy it. I mean, all these, you get your friends out here. You're playing in front of your friends, playing in front of your community.
And a goal there. That's Matthew Minikis off of the feed from number 6, Connor O'Malley. Minikis will put this 7-3.
So yeah, that's a nice little 2-man game that they're playing down on the corner here. O'Malley draws a little bit of a double, and Minikis slips right behind it, gets in there and puts it away.
Makes it 7-3, Darien. Darien has scored 3 unanswered. This is looking a little more reminiscent of that first quarter we saw, as a lot more explosive offense. We'll see if the Bruins can recreate what they did in the first quarter and score some goals. And it finally finds Andrew Greenspan of Brunswick. Bit of a miscommunication between Hoffman and Maxey.
Jeremiah Stafford here on the loose ball.
Caesar.
Ahead to Joey.
Here's Allegro now. Gives that one to Lau. Lau is going to Swarthmore next year to play.
You know, I'll tell you, one of the things that's really, it's always the case with Darien, but I think even more so this year. This is not a one-player team or a one focal point team. There are numerous threats. There are numerous players. It's not like anybody's waiting for one person to initiate anything, which I think it makes it very hard to defend for Brunswick, right? They can't focus on just one guy. You don't know who's actually going to produce. Now, I know we've seen a little cluster of scoring, but, a couple of those are assisted goals. Here's a fast break for Brunswick.
Drop there from
They can
Lau.
be dangerous here.
Good passing, but Bolton breaks it up.
Oliver Bolton, great hustle by him getting down the backside. That's just a real heads-up play by him. Opened up to the ball and was there to deliver the check, take his hands off.
Jim, as you mentioned, it's not a one-man team. In their last game, 6 different players scored, and it just shows that on any given week, there are maybe 1 or 2 names that you have to look out for, but other than that, Darien's going to kill you in multiple ways.
Absolutely, and like I said before, I think, what do we say, Brady's got 3, I think, today, maybe 4?
Brady's got 3, Finn's got 1, Jameson Moore has 2, and Minikis has 1. That's already 4 different goal scorers.
Yeah, and these are assisted goals, right? So these are guys creating on the outside, drawing a double team, and then finding the guy inside. So it really is offense being created in multiple spots.
Goal there, that's number 17, Miles Speece on the goal there.
A little breakdown there, Darien. He came in basically unchecked down the middle. You can't let Miles Speece get down the middle and not put a body on him. He's going to put that away probably 10 times out of 10.
Brunswick showing that if Darien can score multiple different ways, they can too. All of their 4 goals have come from 4 different scorers. Maxey, Delgado, Hoffman, and now Spice. That's his 3rd goal of the year.
He's got a little pressure on him here. They've got a little triple team going, actually.
It will be Bruins' ball here. And you talked a little bit about Darien offense setting each other up. Last week, Brady Percorny and Jameson Moore tied for team high 3 assists each. Just shows that they can score and pass. Shot there. That's no good from number 11, Tomas Delgado. He's got 1, looking for more. He had a 5-point outing in their loss against Lawrenceville. Couple of goals and a couple of assists.
Rare breakdown by Brunswick right there. Just an errant pass. Ball goes out of bounds. Darien setting up to clear.
Here's Delgado with it. Always dangerous with the ball. Darien will be awarded possession there.
I didn't see what the call was myself. Some sort of procedure call, maybe an offsides or too many men on the field.
Here's Allegro with it now.
Tell you one thing for sure that Darien can't do is back off on the pace at all. They need to keep pressing and want Brunswick to be running backwards, not running forwards when they're playing defense.
That was two of the keys of the game for Darien. Is that what is missed there by Stein? Is that Darien needs to dictate the tempo not only on offense but also on defense, but they also need to keep their foot on the gas pedal, keep making the Bruins feel uncomfortable, don't get into a rhythm where the Bruins can predict what's going to happen next.
Yeah, Brunswick's good. They're going to see they understand they're down a couple goals right now. They need to press and they need to get the tempo up. So they will not slow down whatsoever. Darien needs to keep the pace up themselves.
That's something that Darien hasn't really had to face a whole ton, is that Darien will play through their tempo and they don't really let teams get into their own tempo. They they get so ahead of other teams that that the other teams have to feel like they have to shift their momentum towards the tempo. But Brunswick has a very similar style offense, a very similar style tempo to Darien. So they're comfortable with this fast-paced speed here.
Absolutely.
Here's Delgado. Good save there by Demopoulos. That one will go into the woods. About 5:45 remaining.
Darien's got to collect themselves a little bit right here. Oh, that is a heads-up play by Oliver Bolton. He's neck and neck, and he just reaches out closest to the ball, where it goes out, when it goes out, and that was probably just the crown of his helmet that got there.
You can see the Darien bench light up after that one. Hustle plays really get the momentum going, really get the blood flowing for each team. Darien very happy with the outcome of that one. Bolton showing why he's one of the key pieces of this defense.
You know, it's interesting. Bolton's going to the Coast Guard Academy next year, United States Coast Guard Academy up in New London, Connecticut. Both these teams have a lot of representation, or a lot of players going to the service academies. Darien's got 2 going to West Point. I'm sorry, 1 going to West Point, 2 going to Air Force, and 1 going to the Coast Guard Academy. And Brunswick has at least 3 or 4 players as well going to service academies.
Here's Finn Picorni with it now, looking for his second of the afternoon. Really couldn't ask for a better day to play some lacrosse. It is picture perfect here on May 1st.
Absolutely. Chilly morning this morning. Felt like it was about 30 degrees, and it's just turned out to be a great day.
Stadium Field, the home of Darien. Lacrosse, football, even soccer will play here now and again. And just looking out, you can see the trees. And it's just a beautiful sight here.
Yeah, this facility is just incredible. You know, the support of the Darien Athletic Foundation for what they've done here with their facilities, it's just remarkable, especially as a public school. You know, they raised a ton of money to upgrade everything: the track, the field, the lights, the lower field, which is a monstrous turf facility. It's just absolutely amazing. You know, the transformation that they've had here over the last 10 years. A lot of hard work by a lot of volunteers. So we really appreciate it. The community is very lucky to have it.
Darien, or DAF Media, of course, is a joint venture between the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, and we are so glad that they started this program 4 years ago to bring this game to you. We've come such a long way from 4 years ago. If you had told our advisor, Damian Andrew, that you'd be seeing this, having everything that we went through in our first year, he'd call you crazy.
Well, you know, we were talking about it at halftime there, Ted. It's so impressive what you guys do, this group of students, all students, the quality of the production that you guys put out. You know, I've got kids who play in college, and we're watching the different college networks, and truly, you guys are just excellent. You know, I'd say sort of broadly, just a better production quality than we see at a lot of these, you know, basically professional organizations. So it's really great. So we appreciate all the effort by everybody. Multiple camera angles, multiple people in different spots on the field. Really, you guys really put on a great show. So thank you.
And I missed there. I'm going to give a quick shout out to our production crew. I can't believe I haven't done that yet. They've been doing such a great job all day. Connor Sini and Harrison Bell on our camera work. George Martin doing graphics. Brandon Schenk, our director, and he also did a little sideline reporting today. Sophie Davey on instant replay. And of course, Damian Andrew and Bruce Ferguson, our advisors. And as you mentioned, it's all student volunteers. So we thank them for giving up their Saturday afternoon to bring you this incredible matchup between two very good teams.
No, it really is great. I'll tell you, the one thing we love too is we love as parents and as former players, alumni love to be able to go back and get on the YouTube channel, DAF Media on YouTube. You can pull up all sorts of old games that were shown on the network, you know, as well as concerts, graduation, I mean, they've just expanded and expanded, and you guys really have just done an amazing thing for this community.
We appreciate all the kind words as Demopolis gets the stop there. But that one is turned right over till Delgado.
Yeah, that's going to be a flag right there. It's a trip. It's inadvertent, but he's got possession of the ball. That's a trip. That'll be a 1-minute penalty. Sam Erickson.
Darien faithful, letting the referees hear it. Of course, as we mentioned, that any grade and any person can now attend these games, of course, with a mask. But the Darien student section in the all-white for the whiteout today, letting the referees know what they thought about that last call.
Well, it's great. It's just so great to see to see them all out here. You know, it's been a long year. It's been a long year for these guys. So, all right. So Brunswick going on the man up here.
Brunswick behind the net now.
That's a great look.
Delgado. No good. You could see it there, Jim. We talked a little bit about this earlier, is that against a goaltender like Demopolis, teams are starting to second look their shots.
I agree. And, you know, it makes you think, and all of a sudden you feel like you got to get it closer and closer to the pipe if it's going to have any chance of getting in, so you wind up missing more, right? So it's really the effect of the type of game that Andy Demopolis is having today. It impacts a lot of things. Christian on a break here. Christian Allegro.
Allegro streaking down that field. And Darien will settle into their offense.
Yeah, that was a great turnover, a great series, great man-down defense series for Darien. But I really do think you're right. I think that you can see a little bit, I don't know, hesitation's the wrong word, but like,
tentative play almost.
Yeah, or just certainly they're trying to place their shots so perfectly that they're missing the net a lot.
It's becoming a little more cerebral than you would like to see, as they're really trying to think about whether or not it's a good opportunity. I mean, I think you saw it over there when you said, you know, oh, that's a great look, and then he immediately passed it up. You know, if it was quarter one, quarter two, we might have been seeing them take that shot.
I totally agree, yep.
Brunswick will try to get an opportunity with 10 seconds left. Here they go, streaking down that far side of the field.
This could be a big momentum change.
And it looked like they tried to take it themselves, but that'll do it for the third quarter. The score is 7-4 off of goals from Pokorny, Minikis, and Spies in this quarter. And we'll be back with fourth quarter action. Just stay right where you are. Back here on the DAF Media Network, one more quarter to go in this game. The Bruins will try to come out of this 3-goal hole, and Darien will try to continue their perfect season as they are 5-0.
You know, Ted, I'll tell you, there are games where you could see a 3-goal lead and actually feel like it's one team's well ahead. I think in this case, this feels pretty much like a tie game to me. There's no doubt that Brunswick can put three goals up pretty quick here. So this is still far from over.
It really doesn't feel like a 3-goal game, as you mentioned, as Kaminsky will lose that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think here we go.
What a goal there! We were just talking that Brunswick can put them up. That's Blake Burchill on the goal. That was a Superman-esque type goal.
Goal coast to coast by Blake Burchill.
That's Blake Burchill.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's a type of momentum type of goal that you need, right? Darien wins a face-off, comes down, get a turnover, have your, I think he took the face-off too, Burchill, right?
Believe so.
Anyways, and then have him just go down all the way. Darien gives him an angle and he puts it away. So that's a big momentum shifter right there.
Brunswick has scored the last 2 goals. The Spice goal to end quarter 3, and then the Burchill goal cuts it to a 2-goal deficit now. Burchill attending Bucknell next year, next year. Here's Spice with it now. Darien will be awarded possession. You know, one thing
that's just a good play by Connor O'Malley on the sideline there. You know, ball was drifting close to the sideline, tried to let it roll out. Brunswick kept it in, and then Connor was able to get to the front side of the man and give him a push and have him step out of bounds.
You know, one thing we've seen in this game is that it's been pretty physical between both sides. For the most part, they've been letting them play, except for the few penalties that we've seen.
Yeah, the penalties we've seen are mostly possession type, illegal procedure type stuff. It's been a good game. They've let them play. It's Mac McGarren, the sophomore, number 23, covering the ball here. Darien stayed in their man-to-man defense. That's a great shot, I'll tell you. You know, that is a really well-placed shot. I think that was Henry Caponiti, number 7, coming across the top there. I guess we're not quite sure if it was number 2 or number 7. Yeah, sorry, it was number 2, Coulter Mackesy. You know, gets his hands free there, going top side, and puts it away off stick side on Demopoulos. Great placement, good hard shot.
That's Maxie's 2nd of the day, 27th of the year. Maxie, a scoring machine.
Okay, so here we go with the face-offs again. Remember, face-offs will be a key as we go down the stretch here about momentum.
Here's Erickson, loses that one. It will find a Darien stick.
And Darien calls a timeout. That's a good timeout by Coach Braymeyer right there to preserve possession.
3 unanswered from Spice, Burchill, and Maxie. We're going to take a quick break, see if Darien can regain their momentum and keep this 1-goal lead. Back in just a moment. back here on the DAF Media Network. And, you know, looking at the goals here, it's been a game of runs, really. There hasn't been a back and forth at all during this game. It was first a 4-0 Darien run, then a 3-0 Brunswick run, then another 3-0 run by Darien, and now a 3-0 run by Brunswick. And an old coach of mine used to say that the FCX is a game of runs, and I know this isn't an FCX matchup, but it's really a game of runs right now.
No, that's really true. You know, you can feel the momentum too. You can feel it in the crowd noise. You can feel it in just watching the players, right? So Brunswick got that big goal from the midfielder off a turnover, and they stick another one in. And right now, the momentum is definitely shifted in Brunswick's favor.
Picorni tried to get that one to Moore, and an uncharacteristic-like drop from Moore. He's been pretty steady all year. Here's Brunswick. No good. And you can feel now that every shot for Brunswick, you can kind of feel the crowd going, holding their breath every shot, or at least this Darien crowd.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you what, you know, it's warm where we are. It's a lot warmer on the turf. You know, the heat starts to kick in. The fatigue starts to kick in a little bit too. So Brunswick's still moving real well right now.
Brunswick will have possession again after a missed shot. I'm sure Darien is hoping that Connecticut decides to put in a shot clock just for right now, as Brunswick has really just dominated this second half.
In terms of possession time.
In terms of possession time.
Certainly.
And Delgado drops that one. But it will find a Brunswick stick. Here's Maxey with it now. He's already got two. Looking for a third to complete the hat trick. And Brunswick will have possession again. Demopoulos tried to get that one. I gotta imagine that's something that Darien might work on next week in practice, as a goal there ties the game. That's number 5, Leo Hoffman, his second of the night, makes this a 7-7 game.
Long possessions on offense are, you know, are good for Brunswick, and long possessions on offense are bad for Darien defense.
Leo Hoffman, his 9th of the season, second of the night. And that's most likely going to be a focal point for Darien's practices this week, trying to reduce this time on offense for other teams. As we saw there, Brunswick is just holding on to the ball. Stein. It will find Brunswick, and Brunswick has all of the momentum right now.
Yeah, Darien needs to stop here. This is a broken situation. That is probably not the shot they were looking for. Darien needs to come up with the ball here.
Looks like Demopoulos had it in his stick for a second.
That was a great call by Coach David Bruce. He was able to get a timeout. His long stick picked up the ball behind the goal and was being covered by a Darien long stick. And he was quick to call timeout. You heard it from the bench. The referee near the bench blew the whistle.
We're going to take a quick timeout break as well. The score is 7-7 here, and it's still getting interesting. On Wednesday, the boys team will take on Greenwich here at home. That's Wednesday, 4 p.m. here on the DAF Media Network. And we wonder if they'll still be undefeated at this point, as Brunswick has made this a 7-7 game, a 4-0 run starting at the beginning of the end of the third. They've really taken control of the momentum here. But there is still about 8 minutes left here.
Absolutely. Look, you knew this was just going to be a rock fight till the end, and it's just a great game. Two great programs just battling hard, going at each other. There's no shortage of emotion by either team here whatsoever. So these momentum shifts, it's not like Darien's down at all. It's just, Brunswick's feeling a little bit right now. So I have a feeling we'll see a couple more, we'll see plenty more activity here in the last 7 minutes of this game.
Here's Stein with it. McCorney. That's one of the key things about having fans here is that they give Darien a little extra momentum boost. But if you're Brunswick, you've essentially taken the fans out of it. They've been really quiet over these last 4 goals here, and it's really just a momentum killer for Darien.
Yeah, we need a little spark. Darien needs a little bit of spark here.
McCorney, their leading goal scorer, I believe.
Darien looks like they're going back to that. Oh, there we go.
McCorney with the goal. Look at how hyped he is. His 4th of the day gives Darien the 8-7 lead, and Darien's fans are back in it now.
Absolutely. Darien went back into that wing dodging offense that was so potent for them in the first quarter. And Brady McCorney gets his hands free here. Schlenk was able to get a stick on it, but a little bit too much momentum on the shot, and it was tucked up underneath the crossbar.
McCorney reaches the 20-goal mark here his freshman year. And that's a very impressive accomplishment for just a freshman. Big hit there. Darien loving it.
Yeah, not quite sure who got the harder part of that. Attackman tried to put a lick on Comiskey. Sort of bounced right off. He's a solid kid. Big, strong, and fast.
Plays running back and fullback for the Darien JV football team.
I'm surprised they let that one go. Okay, they called that. That was a little loose ball. They'll call it a push. I mean, it's a trip, but they'll call that a loose ball push.
Darien fans back into this one. You could hear it off of the hit, and you can hear it on that one. Kaminsky looks like he's livid on the sidelines.
He's a competitive kid. I've watched that kid for a few years now. He plays with a lot of emotion.
Corny with it now.
And Corny's starting to draw a lot of attention.
Good defense there from Brunswick, knocking the stick out. And here come the Bruins. Taking it himself. Ties this game up. The defenseman will try to get the number if we can see. Goes into the mob of players.
Brunswick's got to be a little careful here. Got about 25 players out on the field celebrating right now.
That's number 33, Will Donovan, the defenseman.
And I'll tell you, a long stick goal, Ted, that is a momentum goal. So you saw the Brunswick bench go crazy. That is one of your long sticks coming down and basically saying this game is going back to be a tied game right now.
His first goal of the season couldn't come at a better moment in this game. And we have a tie game here, 8-8. And really, this is the first back and forth goal scoring we've seen all game long.
Tell you what, every single ground ball right now is a total scrap. Total scrap every time the ball goes on the ground.
Kaminsky was...
And Coach Braymeyer burns a timeout there. I'm sure he didn't want to do that, but Kaminsky had 4 brown shirts just mauling him. He was able to hold on to the ball, so Darien's able to call the timeout.
So, Jim, I'll ask you this as you are a lacrosse aficionado. If you're Coach Braymeyer right here, what are you doing to continue to get your team in the right headspace and try to win this game?
Well, I'll tell you, what I'd be doing is I'd tell our guys that they got to keep playing this game because this is still a game. This is a 0-0 game right now with 5 minutes to play. So to me, I'm saying don't back off whatsoever. Now, Coach Brammer is a much better coach than I am. He's got a much better idea of strategy. He's probably telling them to, get themselves quality looks, quality shots. Don't panic, right? Certainly don't panic. It's a tie game. But at the same time, let's try to create in places and spots where we want to create.
We were able to take a look at that last goal for Brunswick, and we see the Brady Picorni goal here. But I want to talk a little bit about that Donovan goal for Brunswick. Donovan picked it up himself from about the 25-yard line and took it himself, and after passing the other 25-yard line, was relatively untouched from the defense, had a nice little fake pass, and got it through Demopoulos. And if you're Darien, one of your keys to the game was tightening up on defense, and that's about as loose as defense I think I've seen all game.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a transition goal, and no matter how many times you tell people when they see a long stick carrying the ball, instead of collapsing on the ball, they inevitably fade out onto their attackman and not thinking that the long stick's going to go down and actually be able to bury it. Well, when you're playing a team like Brunswick, you got to expect that long stick's very comfortable shooting the ball, and you got to play that. You got to play that player like he's an offensive threat right away.
Jim, I don't think we could have asked for a better game. You always love the close ones.
Oh, this is fantastic. I'll tell you, I woke up early today. I'm always tickled when I get an opportunity to participate in these broadcasts, and I was all excited about it myself, and it is certainly not disappointing.
Here's Finn Picorni. Tried to rifle that one on net. Darien will get the ball there.
That was a well-placed shot and a very good save right there. That had a lot of pace on it. It was headed for the top left corner, the goalie's top left corner, which is offside for that goalie, but he got a piece of it, so that was a great save.
Luke Schlank, the goalie, has been playing very well all game. Of course, the 8-8 is interesting, but still, he's had some great saves here early on. And a miscue from Darien, and that's not what you want to see if you're the Darien faithful.
Yeah, they were trying to set up a nice play. That was actually a good look back to Matthew Stein there, but I think the Brunswick player got a stick on the hands, which put the ball into the dirt, and Matthew Stein couldn't stop it.
Here's Brunswick inside.
Yeah.
Picked up by Darien. That's Bolton. Tried to get it to Moore. And Moore gets hit from behind.
I'm surprised. Okay, they did get the call. Great.
He's not happy with that one.
Calling that as a loose ball push, but man, that could have been an illegal body check from behind. He took a lick right there. He's a tough kid, though. He bounces right up.
He's a hockey player in the winter season, so he's used to getting hit.
Yeah, that number 12 jersey, it was Wes Barton, who graduated Darien High School in 1992. Wasn't able to continue his career, but Coach B started this a few years back, probably, if I had to guess, about 10 years back. He started the number 12 tradition.
Here comes the Bruins. Good save there by Demopoulos, keeping this a tie game.
Tell you what, Demopoulos is that is a big-time stop at a big-time moment right there. There's 3 minutes left on the game. That is an uncontested shot. It's a bounce shot to the off-stick side, and he gets a piece of it. That's just a fantastic save.
Now, I don't believe we'll go to overtime, but there is an overtime in this setting. Is
oh,
that
absolutely,
correct?
Absolutely. No, this, I don't know. Can't keep track of the rules, but I don't think they allow these games to end in ties, and I certainly don't think anybody on this field wants it to end in a tie.
Now, I say I don't think we'll see it overtime because I'm sure with the high-powered offenses of either one of these teams, we will see at least one goal to break the tie. But then again, I've been wrong before.
Yeah, look, this feels to me like whoever's got the ball last is going to win, right?
Looks like Brunswick is trying to be that team They've had a lot of time on possession in this second half. It's really been a completely different team than we saw that first half.
Yes.
We saw in the first half they were shooting it a lot at a much higher rate.
Yep.
This time, or in the second half, they're holding on to it. They're trying to get good looks. Even if they are second-guessing themselves here and there, they're still, you miss a shot, they already got a guy down there.
Right. Well, they're definitely being more selective in their shots. That's probably something that Coach Bruce told them to be. But they're also no longer 3 goals behind. So they can take their time a little bit and try to find a real favorable shot opportunity.
Maxey with it now.
But I agree with you very much. I mean, first half they were just launching these bombs from 20 yards out, and Timopoulos was, eating them up like a can of corn.
And another good save there by Timopoulos.
Hey, I'll tell you what, and that's a big-time play. Big-time hustle by Jeremiah Stafford to get that ball, to reach out and lay out, to come up with possession. Darien sidelines going nuts. That's a big-time save and a big-time play by Jeremiah Stafford.
A minute 30 here remaining in this game. Both teams at a deadlock.
I almost thought they were going to get called on a hold right there. When you're running, you can put your stick in front of the guy, but you can't hold him back. You gotta let the player run.
O'Malley will check in for Caesar, trying to get some more offensive firepower.
1 minute to play.
1 minute remaining here. Darien's got their top production offensive line out on the field. Going to go in a little invert. And they tried to get a look down the backside. Here we go.
This is it. Good defensive play there by Brady Picorni. Here's O'Malley.
Wow.
40 seconds left. O'Malley drops
exactly how
it.
you'd want this game to end.
Brunswick ball.
3 possession changes in about 14 seconds.
Here comes Brunswick. They might try to hold for the last shot. Timeout. You can see the difference on the sidelines. The Bruins extremely hyped up after that big defensive play. Darien, I at least saw one player on the sideline in the surrender cobra.
Well, I'll tell you what, both teams here just fired up, making big time plays right down the stretch. This is as good as it gets. This is just high quality, back and forth, great level high school lacrosse.
We were able to see a replay there of Picorni's big stop that got O'Malley the ball. And unfortunately for Darien, Brunswick was able to recover and get it from O'Malley. And I'll say it again, I don't think we could have asked for a better game between two incredibly highly ranked teams.
This is just great. So Brunswick will draw up a play here. You see Coach Segrita working with the defense. They're going to be, look, Brunswick's got a lot of weapons. You can't say key on one guy, that's for sure. But, hopefully they're able to just sort of make it one of those outside shots and let Andy Timopoulos eat it and take this thing to overtime.
As you mentioned, not one guy to key on, and I think we saw it here. Maxey's got 2 goals, Hoffman's got 2 goals, Delgado has a goal, Spies has a goal, Burchill has a goal, and of course we saw Donovan's goal, but of course he's the long stick. But those first couple of guys that I mentioned, you got to be aware of all of them where they're on the field.
Absolutely. You just got to play this team straight up. I mean, this is just, this is like at the end of practice where, next goal wins, offense versus defense. Who's going to clean up the field after this, okay?
Who's going to go run the sprints?
Yep, these guys have done this hundreds of times, and, the defense, they love this. They love this. They want to eat this thing. They're fired up for this moment, and, Brunswick's offense is, I don't know who's more nervous right now. Probably me. I'm probably the most nervous guy here right now. Who knows what's going to happen, but there's nerves on both sides here, I guarantee it.
This is going to be a big win for either team, not just the standings, but also, momentum and a feel-good moment for either team because they've been going at each other's necks here. 20 seconds remaining here.
So Brunswick definitely has a play in mind here that they're working on.
Darien student section trying to force an early shot. The shot, that's no good. 5 seconds left. Here we go. 5 seconds. Here they go. Maxi.
Oh, baby. Holy cow.
And Demopoulos, he's saying no, and we're going to overtime. Demopoulos was probably the save of his career.
Oh, my goodness. Brunswick players think that the ball crossed the plane of the goal. I'm not sure if it was Demopoulos who reached it out of there or one of the long sticks, but that was a that's one. If we can, I don't know if we've got an angle where we can actually see.
We might be able to get a look here. Maxi's on the left side of your screen if he comes into frame. Demopoulos setting up. Here's Maxi. That might have gone in. I think it hit that back line. Or that back.
The way these goals are set up now, that can't really happen anymore. It's a flat panel. If it's going to go down and hit that flat panel, it's going to catch the net. In this case, these nets don't hang. I don't think that went in. At least from that angle. I don't know if we're able to get a better look of it here. So here's Maxi. Yeah, because the ball, can't tell.
That's such
can't tell.
Out of all the angles, you know.
Hey, there's nothing like a little bit of controversy, right? Gives everybody something to talk about here.
Taking another look here. Again, it's going to be tough to see because it looks like it originally gets by Demopoulos, but where it ends up after it goes by Demopoulos, that's where we're unsure.
Yeah.
But no matter, of course, the refs can't review that one.
Absolutely. And
even if we had the angles, they couldn't come up here and review it.
Yep. Well, we'll see. I mean, these teams are going to overtime. This is unbelievable. This is so great. I'm so happy for the seniors on both teams. You know, especially Darien. I mean, Brunswick gets games like this a lot. Darien doesn't get to play in too many games like this, so you know they're fired up. Glad they get an experience like this, especially this year with not being able to play anybody out of state. This is just super. So I'm real excited for all these guys.
In the 2 games that they've played 3 games against top 10 opponents in the CIAC, and all 3 times they've blown them out of the water. It's been pure Darien dominance, but you know, as you mentioned, it's such a great experience to have these close games, and especially for a team like Darien, which I think they just need a close game like this once a year.
Well, absolutely. And look, you can count on one thing, which is despite the success that they've had early on, you get to the state tournament, the FCAC tournament, you know, things change. So I don't think they'll be blowing everybody out this year. You know, it never happens that way.
4-minute overtime period now. Is this a golden goal situation, or is this you play
this
4
is
minutes?
yep. This is sudden death, sudden victory.
That's the Captain Waters, and Brunswick is going to go back to their offense here.
Trying to get his hands free here.
Maxi with the game winner. Maxi said, if you don't count that one, I'll make sure you know which one to count. Maxi ends this game as Brunswick will pile on in the end zone.
Wow, that's just too bad for Darien right there. Look, Maxi made a nice move. He was in a good range. He placed that shot well, put a lot of pace on it. I'm heartbroken for Darien right now just because that was just an awesome game. Just an awesome game.
Take another look. Bounces that one past Demopoulos. Beautiful shot. Low corner. And what a game we just saw from these 2 teams. Taking another look at this one. Just went to that low left side of Demopoulos off stick.
Well, Coulter Maxi, senior captain, doing what senior captains do in games like this. So that's a great job by him. Great game, both sides here. I think Darien, look, they're going to be pretty upset about this one, but They shouldn't be. They should be proud of how they played. They battled great. This is just a game of who was going to have the ball last, right?
So the Bruins end Darien's undefeated season. Darien will go to 5-1 on the year, and Brunswick will go to 8-1. What an incredible game from both sides. I think if we had to name a player of the game, it has to be Coulter Maxey. A hat trick and the game-winning goal. I don't think it could get any better than that.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. I mean, that's just a great performance, again, by a senior, by a captain. You know, they needed him. He put the team on his back, and he delivered.
Going to give one final shout-out to our production crew, Connor Cini, Harrison Bell, our camera operators, George Martin on graphics, Sophie Davey, our instant replay coordinator, Braden Shank, our director and sideline reporter, our advisors, Damian Andrew and Bruce Ferguson, and Jim Book helped me out today. It was such an honor to call a game with you here today, Jim.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. I just, you know, look, we didn't talk a lot about the private school, public school thing. For Darien as a public school to be able to compete at this level as they do year in and year out as a true public school program, there's very few teams in the country in the public school ranks who you ever see showing up in the top 10, top 15 on a regular basis. Darien's there every year, and this year they showed that they belong. So wish they had a different outcome, but man, that was a great game.
So Jim, we'll give a final wave to our camera over there. And thank you so much for calling this game with me. Once again, I'm Ted Brennan, the final score here on the DAF Media Network, 9-8. Catch us next week for the girls' game against New Canaan. Signing off, this has been a DAF Media Network production.